Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Sky, for living life's sake, I make moves with the intent in mind state. I can't lose. The game we play is high stakes. Ain't afraid to spray tools. Stack the box, all you want. I'm still finna get loose. You know the truth, blood. We running shit, cutting it swift, putting these kicks. Finna bubble this to something legit. Life's a trip. We was in the streets, local celebrities. Now we got them paying hidden fees in local dispensaries. Finna take it across the 7 seas, global the industry. If I ain't a mogul yet, blood, you know that I'm finna be. I done rewrote history out of East San Jose. It only gets better, yeah, you know that's bogey. I've been moved metro tons, I'm talking hella weight. Next move, clean the loot and cop real estate. We in this bitch, we in it thick, you know my thesis. The grit don't quit, diaries of a kingpin. We on the move. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do. Oh, I gotta make these moves, make money, I'm finna do.
I said we came a long way from putting money in a mattress. The earth is my turf, tell the world on its axis. Trifecta exclusive, we deny your access. Can't deny the movement, we all across the atlas. Doing numbers, blood, fuck what you average. Top gun, you call me Maverick. Wild card, you call me Gambit. Bogart, Scot-free, certified savage. From the Bay out to NOLA, we push buttons like controllers. I'm from the yay, I push Yola. Stay with a pistola.
Light work, night work. Looking at La Mama in a tight skirt. Got the whole club feeling while she twerk is going down in the town while she jiggy jerk. From 504 to 408. You know this about to be a fucking power play. But for now, I'ma dip while I sip and you trip on that beat. That's not a banger from my bed.
Sicker than your average, quicker than the last kid, slicker than a savage. Hit him for the package, committed to this action like amber shit on a mattress. Put it down and spread it out with no theatrics. Every day's a test, not a quiz, we at this. No multiple choice, the vocals moist, tight, crisp. We all on the front lines, these hitters don't miss. The only list we on is the one for stacking hits. Life is beautiful, but she's a scandalous bitch. She'll buy her a Birkin cause she's looking for a clip. So treat her right like Chubb Rock cause these bullets slop quick. Mopping up a mess that's still wet, don't slip.
Light work, night work. Looking at La Mama in a tight skirt. Got the whole club feeling while she twerk is going down in the town while she jiggy jerk. From 504 to 408. You know this about to be a fucking power play. But for now, I'ma dip while I sip and you trip on that beat. That's not a banger from my bed.
Trifecta is an army nigga, a navy nigga. So if you ever try to harm me, nigga, it ain't gravy, nigga. I know a lot of criminals and drug dealers. I love niggas. We be coming from the same place. Down south, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast. Cats who do the most with the least. Can't have no justice, can't have no peace. Brothers and sisters marching down these streets across the globe. I started in the bucket, now I'm in a Rolls Royce, double R. A brother spitting bars, straight lace like caviar. On the voyage, same bon voyage. Trifecta go hard.
Light work, night work. Looking at La Mama in a tight skirt. Got the whole club feeling while she twerk is going down in the town while she jiggy jerk. From 504 to 408. You know this about to be a fucking power play. But for now, I'ma dip while I sip and you trip on that beat. That's not a banger from my bed.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, smoke weed every day.
Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What it do? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What it do? Welcome in. Welcome into the Guru Nation Power Hour. Woo, man. There we go. Now we're ready. Spencer the Guru here. Back at you live from down south in New Orleans, Louisiana. Hope everyone's doing well out there, ready to get this Power Hour popping off. Super Bowl recap show, free agency talk. Gotta give Chiefs their due, man. Travis Kelce got the Kelce threads on. Kansas City Chiefs, your 2023 Super Bowl champions, Super Bowl 57 champions. And yes, sir, Marty, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, man, my favorite Chief. You gotta fight. Fight it right. To party. And we're here to party on the Power Hour because I just cashed my Chiefs money line bets thanks to Caesar Sportsbook. Got this little margarita in, ready to drink margarita thing. Like that. Like that. So, yeah. Can't wait to get this Power Hour going. Let's shout out the chat. Sir Bong's in the building. Ooh, moves. Make them moves. Make them moves. Fucking right. Fucking right. Dennis pulled up here. Power Hour. Let's fucking go. Yes, sir. Bogart in the house. What's good, my brother? Yes, sir. Like, back at you, bro. And sent the link in our Playmakers group chat. If you or any of the other real fantasy playmakers want to pull up, the invite is extended. We actually, before we get the show going, we have a little announcement to make. Had a little power meeting there with Huss. What up, Huss? And we decided that moving forward, since there's no more, Monday Night Football, it's the off season, that we're going to push the Power Hour back a couple hours, and we're going to do it, still on Mondays, but a couple hours later, which would be 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. I know a lot of y'all on the West Coast. So for y'all West Coasters, it would give y'all time to, I know for a lot of y'all's West Coasters, only 4 o'clock, kind of early for y'all be doing a Power Hour. Hell, it's a little early for me. I like to do it a little later, but with the, with football, Monday Night Football, we do it before because Huss and Bogey would do their Monday Night Football stream. But now that it's the off season, we're going to go ahead and push the Power Hour back a little later. So, everyone's off work. We can crack some open and just have a good old time. Sometimes, with Bogart shit, a lot of times it ends up 2 hours. And that's another thing. It'll give us more opportunity to get guests because more eyeballs tend to be on the show, at night, prime time. So we're going to move the Power Hour back a couple hours. So looking forward to that. Marty's on board. Fucking right. And Michael, what up, Guru? Time to smoke it up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm more of a drinker than a smoker, but for those of y'all that like to smoke, most definitely smoke it up. One of these days, I'm going to smoke on the show. Not going to say when, but one of these days I have to smoke one up for the 420 crew. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, well, let's get right into it. Yeah, we had the new intro thing with the We Are the Nation. Had that shit going. So glad to get this one going strong. This is our last one of the season's over. I guess we can consider this still somewhat of a 2022 season episode because we're going to be recapping last night's Super Bowl, one for the ages. And yeah, fucking right. Everyone has their own poison. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to get fucked up somewhere or another. Guccini, what up, my bro? Put it in the air then, Brody. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shit. Gonna have to at some point. Maybe on Playmakers. Maybe next Playmakers episode we'll have to light something up. But yeah, man, let us know what y'all think of that Super Bowl. I thought it was great. Not everyone, a lot of people though bitching about the officials. Which, I know that call was a little ticky-tack, but to me, you can't take away from what the Chiefs did in that game. I mean, they fucking balled out, man. That was quite the show. And we're going to take a little halftime break as well. I wanted to get this out there. If y'all have any requests to feed the jukebox at the 30-minute mark, we're going to feed the jukebox. So if y'all have any special requests, make sure to drop a super chat to help support the 420 Crew channel. But yeah, Super Bowl final. Chiefs 38, Eagles 35. Got a few comments here. Hussey, I said Mahomes has the best start to a QB's career ever. I can agree with that. And we got people saying I'm stupid for that comment on social media. No, I don't think you're at all stupid. I think it is. The only other one I can think of, Brady, as far as Brady had 3 rings, I think, at this age, but he wasn't putting up the kind of stats that Mahomes was putting up. Brady in the early years was kind of carried by his defense. And Peyton Manning, when it comes to stats, Peyton Manning, his start was pretty fucking good, but not on Mahomes level. No, I'd say Mahomes is you're right, Huss. I agree. Yeah, Guccini, great-ass game, hands down. Second half, way different story. Yeah, the script flipped. I mean, it started off the Eagles dominated. Then the Chiefs, though, the more experienced team, the team that had been there before, made the proper adjustments at halftime. They got Mahomes. I don't know what they shot him up with. They gave him the good drugs. I know that because, man, he was a different player in the second half. He was that ankle. He was able to run on it. They shot him up with the good shit because he was good to go and basically completed every pass there down the stretch. Just almost a perfect passer rating. And, I mean, he started off kind of just the Eagles, man. They know how to start. And they normally could finish, too. They had been finishing in the playoffs, but the thing was they weren't really playing anybody. They caught a Giants team that was not really a divisional round team, a team that should have been knocked out in the wild card round, but ran into, sorry, Marty and Dennis, an overrated Vikings team. And then, so that was an easy divisional round matchup. And in the NFC Championship, what we thought would be a tough matchup, ended up a cakewalk because of the fucking 49ers losing all their quarterbacks. They're literally down to, they lost even their backup to the backup. And then they had to bring Purdy back with a freaking shredded elbow ligament. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Num juice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They definitely shot him up with something, my brother, because, yeah, that made no sense as far as they had to have given him something because he was freaking gimpy at the end of that second quarter. He was like hopping off the sideline. I was worried he might be out the game. I didn't think he would be. I knew they would do that. I knew they'd give him, as JD put it, that num juice. We knew he would. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest stage. They were not going to bench Patrick Mahomes. The only way he'd have been on the bench is if his ankle would have been like the way Dak Prescott's was in that game where he broke his ankle. That'd have been the only way. The bone would have had to have been sticking out of that son of a bitch. That'd have been the only way Mahomes wouldn't have played. So, yeah, great game there from Mahomes. Great finish. The Super Bowl MVP got it done, even though he didn't throw for many yards. He only threw for 180 yards, I think. Had a low yardage total for his standards. But another question I'd like to pose, because Jalen Hurts had a hell of a game. He threw for a ton of yards, ran for some, had 4 total tugs. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm thinking, I mean, this might be the greatest, may have been one of the greatest, maybe the greatest quarterback battle in Super Bowl history. I mean, I don't remember a game where quarterback showed out like that. I mean, it's Tom Brady, Nick Foles in that one a few years ago. And then, yeah, tough to argue against that. Yeah, for sure. But, yeah, let me know what y'all think. Is there anything I'm not thinking of? Because I know they've had some great quarterback versus quarterback battles. But as far as, at least in my lifetime, I don't remember any being as quite on this level, man, where, I mean, it was Hurts. I mean, Hurts had the costly fumble, but other than that, it was he had a great game too. Steelers Cardinals 2009. Yeah, Big Ben versus Kurt Warner. Yeah, that was a tight battle. Yeah, they duked it out. Yeah, the one that comes to mind to me, yeah, the Brady Foles. I think that was like 2017. That was a great one. it's just kind of weird to say Nick Foles. Like, it's like, because he didn't even, I mean, he was like the fill-in guy, at least here, like Mahomes and Hurts. They were the two best quarterbacks all regular season long. They were the 1-2 in the MVP vote and then end up facing each other in the Super Bowl and balling the fuck out. So as far as that, I would say considering it's the greatest quarterback battle as far as guys that actually were that great in the regular season. And then, yeah, 2017 Eagles, Patriots. Yeah, that was bananas. As far from a pure numbers standpoint, that one I think had more yards and points. But just from the standpoint of these were the guys that did it all year and then got to face each other in the big one. To me, this Mahomes-Hurts battle is one of the greatest war stories of all time as far as two quarterbacks that were just gladiators ready to take it. They both performed well enough to take that Lombardi trophy, but Mahomes and the Chiefs were able to do it a little better because I think the experience was the deciding factor. They made the least mistakes. It's not like the Eagles made that many mistakes, but they had the Hurts fumble, the messed up on the punt where they let Tony almost run the punt back, and then all the misdesigns, Andy Reid's crazy play calling that worked like genius made it to where, the Eagles defense looked silly out there down the stretch. I mean, Sky 2-eye Moore, when he scored, he was wide open. And then when Tony scored, he was wide ass open. John Elway versus Brett Favre, 1998. That's the year I was born. I'd have to go back and look at the stats there, but I mean, those are definitely two of the all-time greats. I know Elway was toward the end of his career, but yeah, Favre was in his prime. Let's see, 97. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I know they Elway's Super Bowls were pretty competitive, I believe. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna look up the Packers franchise encyclopedia and go to that season. I think it was 97. Lost Super Bowl. 31-24. Yeah, pretty high scoring game. Elway. Elway just didn't do anything. It was all Terrell Davis, bro. Elway stunk in that game. Favre did really well. Favre had 3 tugs, but even Favre, 256 yards, 3 tugs. There was a different era back then. It was harder for quarterbacks to put up gaudy numbers, but yeah, Elway was he wasn't in his prime at that point, but still, that's one of the. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning was one of those all-time great matchups. Elway, Favre was a great one. Montana Marino, I believe it was Montana Marino. When then Marino was old, I think he ran into the Niners when he finally had made a Super Bowl. So we've had a few over the years that have been pretty great. And we had early on, I think we had Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath in Super Bowl III, the one that no one gave the Jets a chance. And Joe Namath was like, sleep on us, okay, we're going to win this shit. And then they ended up winning it. Broadway Joe. Whew, but yeah, pretty interesting to see how all that went down. But I guess we'll just address this here. I don't want to harp on this for too long. About did the refs blow it? My personal take is this. It wasn't nearly at the level of the Nola no call. Yeah, it was ticky-tack. I admit it was one they could have let slide. Like Bradbury said after the game, I was hoping they'd let it slide. But the fact is, and he even admitted it, he grabbed the jersey. He grabbed the jersey. He grabbed it. So, to me, I wouldn't say you had to have called it, but it's one of those ones I can see why they called it. So it wasn't, no call's different, and if I don't think this would have, as a Chiefs fan, I don't think a Chiefs fan would have been all like, oh, you should have called that. That was a horrible no call. Wasn't anything on the level of the Nola no call, but my point is like the level of how fucked up it is. I mean, it's not nearly as fucked up as the Nola no call. You had Eagles fans and Eagles bettors acting like, oh, it's all rigged, it's scripted, blah blah blah, oh, this and that. It's like, man, y'all just the script thing, I mean, it's funny. I like messing with it. It's so funny to joke about it and all that. But after a while, it just gets kind of old, especially when you got some of these idiots that actually believe, and then they believe in that, and then they Arian Foster, they actually like, you see, an actual NFL player admitted that it's scripted, and it's like, bro, he was joking. Take a joke, people. My gosh, it's just I don't even look at social media that much anymore as far as that. I just mainly go on it for news. Just reading the comments of some of these freaking morons. It's just, but anyway, enough of that. We know what happened there. Let's get into, I guess the news. Actually, let's go over the stats real quick before we move on. The top performers here. Mahomes won the MVP, had 3 passing tugs. Hurts had 1 passing tug, 3 rushing tugs for a total of 4 tugs there. Isaiah Pacheco had a solid day on the ground. And then we'll wait for the rest of it to come back there. Yeah, Eagles' run defense was a little vulnerable. Kind of like I expected. Pacheco over on yards was a good prop. Travis Kelce, solid game. Great first half, kind of disappeared in the second half, but Eagles defense adjusted, forced anyone but him to beat him. And so Juju ended up beating him. Antonio, what up? Guru Nation. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up my good brother, Bogart's birthday twin. Ooh, I'm fucked up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If I'd be right there with you. Shit, I probably need to take a shot later to get super fucked up, but yeah, we might get there. You never know how this power hour is going to go down. Never know. A.J. Brown, waiting for his stats. Yeah, he had a nice game there. Caught the big deep bomb for a tug. Had a really nice game. His prop over on yards was my favorite. That was my favorite prop of the whole Super Bowl, over 71.5 receiving yards. I knew that shit would hit because the Chiefs' pass defense on deep ball is not good. And sure enough, he had got a big one there and went way over the total. Then Devontae Smith, I wasn't quite as high on him, but it doesn't surprise me that he went over as well, 7 for 100. I mean, I knew that Chiefs defense was going to get ate up, especially in the secondary, and their strength was the run. Guess who sucked? Miles Sanders. I was all over Miles Sanders under. Man, if I'd have put a lot of money on props, I'd have racked up. I put a little bit, but I try to do parlays. The only thing that fucked me, I'll hit all my parlay legs on these props, but except for fucking Juju under on receiving yards. Like, oh, well, Juju's a good bet to go under on receiving. He's done nothing. He's phased out of the offense, but with them taking Kelce out of the game in the second half, it kind of forced Mahomes to go to Juju as his safety valve because the Eagles weren't allowing anything to take, up top. They were playing deep, making sure Mahomes wasn't going to burn them deep. So he ended up just having to think and dunk there with Juju, keep moving the chains. So, yeah, pretty interesting, though. Yeah, interesting how it all went down. 2 great teams, fun to watch. Had a great time watching it. This man, I was watching it with my pops, and man, he just would not stop complaining about that call. I was like, that, I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. I was like, it wasn't a ticky-tack call, yes, but is it a call that you should be bitching about? And he was bitching about it this morning. He lives a couple hours west of Nola's. I was there watching Super Bowl with him and stayed the night, and then I came back this morning. He's up just still bitching about the call. Like, that, let it go, man. It's not that bad. You act like it's worse than the fucking Nola no call the way he's screaming at it. And he didn't even have a dog in the fight. That's the funny part. He didn't even bet on the game. It just like he just gets really riled up when he finds the officials to be, as he calls it, unfair. But I mean, they just call the game as they see it, man. These refs, they made the rules are so hard to where it's like, they kind of have to sometimes they have to just throw flags on a play that's a little borderline. But if they feel it's a penalty, then they have to do it. So, or else if they don't do it, and if they totally let them play like the Nola no call, then they're going to get blasted, for not throwing a flag. So we could talk about that all night, but that's about all I have about the Super Bowl. If you have any more thoughts, feel free to drop them in. But as we like to do here, we like to think ahead. We like to think ahead, move forward, so we can get a a leg up on 2020, the 2023 season. Get a leg up on that. And yeah, they don't have too many odds up yet about 2023. We've got the Caesars. Caesars has futures odds up on the different games. I mean, on the different games, the different teams. All 32 teams have odds, to win the Super Bowl. I looked through them. To me, the sleeper team right now is Detroit at 30-1. I really like what Detroit's doing. Obviously, I'm not. To me, it's way too early to bet on anybody right now, but for next year. But if Detroit has a really good offseason, like I'm thinking, I mean, it's pretty much all they need. And we need the script. We need the script writers to give the Lions a break, man. They've been fucking the Lions over for the past 50 years, man. Come on. Life is, we're in a simulation, Bongs. Everything's fixed, rigged, free will. What's free will? We're just puppets being pulled by a string. Oh shit. But that's about all I have on that. Oh yeah, and Damar Hamlin's a clone. Yeah. All these freaking conspiracy theories, man. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. My gosh. And then to think people actually believe that stuff. It's crazy. And we wonder why dictators come to power and throughout the world. People believe anything. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, for real. Why are script writers so unfair, man? They never give like the Jets any love. Never give the Lions any love. And the Vikings never can win the big one. The Bills never get any love. The Bengals, the Browns. Why are script writers so mean, man? And we got someone wanting me to drop philosophical knowledge. Is that since you're on free will, maybe you can share some knowledge on our object purpose in life. Well, I tell you what, man, I'm not a monk. I go by the guru, but I'm not a monk. I'm not a priest. I'm not a prophet. I don't claim to be any of that. I just try to live my life. I just try to do the best I can, put out good energy, make a positive impact. It's already as far as just I feel like my purpose is to just try to make the world a better place. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but I mean, just try to. Like this power hour, try to just keep it positive, keep people entertained. So that's about it. I mean, I'm only 25. I've got a lot to figure out, but I feel like I'm pretty good for where I'm at. I'm in a pretty good place, I feel like. But Aaron Rodgers in the dark room with the script writer saying, so where am I playing next year? For real. For real. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be actually our first topic. We're going to do our little intermission and then that'll be our first topic off the break. We're going to take a little break. We're going to play Mary Jane. I know y'all like that song. Was it 5 yards after scrimmage or before? I'm not. What play are you referring to, Michael? I was kind of lost my train of thought when old boy was wanting me to get philosophical. Now he's really going crazy. Did he believe the universe had a creator or created itself? I don't know, man. It's a fantasy football show, man. I don't know. He got nothing to lose. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If he woke up this morning, do you have a chance to fulfill your destiny, whatever it may be? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I do believe in free will and, in destiny. You have a choice. And if you, follow your highest self, then I feel like then you'll have good results because feel like your spirit gives you different feelings, and you can choose. I believe you can choose different paths. You can choose a harder path that's going to bring more pain, or you could choose a path that'll bring. My path is I try to choose a path that's fulfilling yet peaceful. I try to cut out the chaos as much as possible and drama while also having fun, try to have as much fun and bring joy into my life and to others, into other people's lives. So that's all I can do. It's all we can do. That's another thing. You can't do too much. It's just one individual human, you know. You just got to realize that you got to just, you know, do what you can do. Don't try to do too much. But anyway, that's how do you decide without? You just got to feel. You feel that. You feel that. You feel that. You just got. It's a feeling. It's not like you can't really describe it. It's just you feel that inside. Like right as I'm talking, like I feel good. You know, I feel that. I feel like I'm, you know, talking from my highest self. You know, like this is like I feel like I'm in a good spot right now, kind of living out my purpose. I feel like it feels really good. Where when I'm kind of down, feeling down, and I'm kind of just not feeling that great, I feel more. It's kind of like right near, then I feel a little more. It's just I don't feel right, and I'm like, God, I'm kind of off, you know. And you must follow your higher self. That's why I'm always high. Fucking right. Fucking right. We have the entirety of the universe within ourselves. Open your third eye and you will see. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And the cool thing with what Aaron Rodgers is trying to do with this darkness retreat, he's trying to open his third eye without drugs or alcohol. He's just trying to do this to like really open his third eye to the point to where it'll help him make this decision. I mean, me personally, I don't see where sitting in the dark room, I drive myself crazy. But if that's what works for him, he feels like that could really activate his third eye to the point where it'll make him make a more informed decision. And then yeah, and I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not going down the sexual desires rabbit hole, bro. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. We'll leave it at this, like Bogey says. Do universe like everything else is all about balance. While Spencer, the instrument of things working the way they're supposed to, I'm an instrument of chaos and madness, the great balance. Right? I feel like that's why we compliment each other so well. We balance each other out. For sure. But no, I gotta do the other thing. God damn it. My bad, y'all. Keep fucking up. All right, so with all that, that was deep. That was deep. Let's play some Mary Jane. Let's kick back, smoke it up, drink it up here. Rick James, y'all, Mary Jane. Take it away.
Come here, baby. Mary, do it, baby.
Oh yeah, I agree, Sir Ball. Yeah, that's why I always try to stay productive, bro. It makes me feel when I'm productive, I feel a lot better. For sure. I fuck with that.
She comes as no surprise, turns me on with her love, takes me to paradise. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Yeah. I'm in love with Mary Jane. I'm not the only one. If Mary wanna play around, I'll let her have a fun. She's not the kind of girl that you can just tie down. She likes to spread a love and turn your head around. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Don't you play joking,
Be our next topic. Where will Aaron Rodgers go? Coming up soon. Hell yeah, man. Woo! Rick James, Mary Jane. I love that shit. Oh, no name for that thing. Oh, Lord. Is that the Juice World coming on there? Lord, all right. Rest in peace, Juice. I fuck with Juice World, but yeah, I didn't mean to play that one too. Let's see. Sorry, Cat. Yeah, all good, all good. Yes, sir. 420 crew, damn right. 420 crew represent. Guru Nation represent. We stay strong up in this bitch. Fucking right. Fucking right. Fucking right. Like Sir Ball said, stay strong, brothers. Yes, sir. I think I'm back. Sorry, I think I was in the Matrix there. I think I'm back now. All right, let's get into this thing. Aaron Rodgers, y'all, where is he going? Where is he going? It's sounding more and more like it won't be with the Packers. I mean, it's still possible that they can patch things up, but it's sounding more and more likely that unless he has a change of heart on his darkness retreat, that he is out of Green Bay and that it's likely down to the Jets and the Raiders, assuming he comes back. I mean, hell, this darkness retreat, he might just get so at peace with himself that he might just be like, fuck this, I'm retiring. Be a lot of money to give up, but if he gets super in a super translucent state or like a good spiritual place where he's just at peace, like maybe this has another purpose in life that he wants to pursue outside of football, he might just be like, I'm retiring, bro. And if that's the case, well, sucks for the Jets, Raiders, Packers teams that would want him to come back and need a quarterback. It sucked for the Packers because then they wouldn't get any compensation for him. He'd just retire. I mean, his contract would come off the books, but they wouldn't get any draft picks and such. One where, the Jets and Raiders obviously would be mad because then they'd have to settle for like Derek Carr or Jimmy G, one of the secondary options. Marty's thinking the Jets. I could see it. Nathaniel Hackett's there. They've got weapons. They've got a defense. They've got a solid, stable coaching staff there led by Robert Saleh. So I could see the Jets, but I honestly don't know. I think the Raiders is possible too with Devontae Adams. I don't know if Rodgers open to learning a brand new system. If he went to the Raiders, he'd have to learn a brand new playbook. Josh McDaniel's system probably quite different from Green Bay, what he had in Green Bay with McCarthy and then LaFleur. I hope Jets, I know that. Antonio, I know you're a big Jets fan, so that would be nice because, I mean, if you had Rodgers to the Jets, they might take that next step. You never know. Because if they had, Derek Carr, Jimmy G, they might sneak into the playoffs. But with Rodgers, I mean, if Rodgers could have a resurgence with them, they might be able to steal the division. I doubt it. Buffalo's really stacked, but you never know. I mean, the Bills showed some chinks in their armor down the stretch, so where I think the Jets could maybe play spoiler with Rodgers, but you also have the Dolphins to worry about. They're feisty. Patriots with Bill Belichick aren't going away. So it's interesting, but honestly, I think Antonio brings up a good point here. Yeah, the Jets, have a defense. Raiders defense is trash. Yeah. I don't see why he'd want to go to the Raiders. Apparently his agent is saying he'd rather the Raiders, but I think that might be a bluff, honestly. Might be a bluff, you know, so, you know, his agent will say that, so then the Jets will be like, oh, man, we got to pay more. You know, we got to pay more to where, like, the Jets, you know, want to feel like, fuck, we're behind the Raiders. We got to up our offer. Where in reality, it might be that the Raiders didn't offer shit, but they're just trying to play mind games with these GMs here. Facebook user, what's up, bro? Lamar gonna go to the Saints? Hell no. I think Lamar stays on the Ravens with the franchise tag, and I mean, I'd love it if he did, but I don't see it. There's no way the Saints are gonna have the cap space. Chiefs Mahomes MVP, man, crazy. Yeah, very. I mean, I'm not surprised that Mahomes won MVP. I'm just, it was crazy though that he was able to do all that on that bum ankle. Let's see, Vegas talking about they want Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, that's probably, I think, yeah, because he fits the McDaniel system. They'll probably get Jimmy. And then the Jets, if they don't get Rodgers, they'll get Carr, I would think. Because then if the Jets get Rodgers, though, then I think that leaves Carr to then the Saints might get Carr. And Melvin Gordon didn't play or do anything. Got the ring, put name on the project. Yeah, so yeah, when you're in the group project and do absolutely nothing, yeah, Gordon, yeah, he's gonna get a ring, and I'm surprised he never got elevated to their active roster. I'm surprised he never passed up Rojo, but I don't know. He'll get to just get his free ring for not doing shit, being a practice squatter. I'm assuming he's still on their practice squad. Marty said, so did Rodgers say he's going to make his decision right after his trip? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that on McAfee, that he's going to do this 4-day darkness retreat, I think, starting. I think he's going to do a McAfee interview tomorrow, and I think he's going to start it, I think, like this weekend maybe. He'll probably detail all that on the show tomorrow. I think it's a 4-day darkness retreat in Alaska. And then once he gets done with that, I would think he'll have his decision. I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's fun to talk about, but it's, golly, he's so, like, he's just, he tries. I mean, he tries to do what's best, I feel like, but he's just kind of a wild soul, you know. He's not at all, he's not a conformist. He likes to think for himself, do his own thing. He does not like to just go with the flow, you know. He could just easily, I'm going to just go with the flow, retire as a Packer, make it easy, but he doesn't take the easy route, that's for sure. Yeah, and he is kind of a Karen at times, you know. He likes to, you know, he complains it's never good enough for him and all that, but it's a double-edged sword. I mean, he tries to be very logical and think things through, but it also, like Marty says, it brings him a lot of attention, and he obviously likes all that. He likes going on McAfee every week and all that. It just, yeah, so he'll probably come back. He'll probably come back. I'm going to go pay thousands of dollars to go to Alaska just to sit in a dark room. I'm dead. Just go to your, for real. Yeah, you could just do it, and you could have like one of your homies, or I'll say your wife, but he's not married. I mean, if he's dating, he might have a girlfriend. Or just have your you know, your best friend or your significant other, whatever. Then they can, like, if you're in the dark room, then they can, like, check up on you, bring you food, kind of thing. They don't, you know, just like, so you can, and you know where your shitter is and your pisser, to where you're not having to climb a rope to get to the fucking bathroom, which is apparently what he's gonna have to do with this thing. Because he's never been there before, so he's not going to be familiar with his surroundings in the fucking complete dark. Like, I guess he figures, though, it's changing your environment. I guess he figures being in a completely new environment will be more of a shock to, like, really open up the third eye. Because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to, like, really open up his third eye and all that. But, I mean, shit, man. I mean, you're toward the end of your career. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but, like, yeah, he does like the attention. I get what he's trying to do, but it's kind of it's two-faced. Like part of it is he's trying to get better spiritually, but it also brings him a lot of attention, so he likes that part as well. Carr to the Jets, maybe. Yeah, for sure, I could see it, especially if they don't get Rodgers, and they just brought in Todd Downing today as their QB's coach, someone that worked with Carr before. Andy Reid is a cheeseburger champ. Fucking right, man. Gotta love Andy Reid, bro. He just is who he is, bro. He don't give a damn what people think. He's a cheeseburger champ. What else can I say? I heard Aaron Rodgers as an inside track to the Jeopardy job. Hell no. He's smart, but he's not that. He's not getting the Jeopardy job. There's no way. He just did that guest appearance, but yeah, he ain't getting the Jeopardy job. At least I don't think. Maybe that'll be his epiphany. He'll come out of this darkness and be like, oh, I'm going to be the Jeopardy host. I want to be the Jeopardy host. That's my next chapter in life. I don't know. Let's see. Go do some meditation or something. Yeah, I think he's going to try. I mean, that's what he's thinking. Thing is, though, yeah, it's kind of like this Bogey's thoughts on several days in the dark. I'll just start devolving down to the primal version of me, and I would piss and shit on the spot. Bruh, he's gonna come out this darkness, Richard. You're not even gonna recognize him. He's gonna be like, Aaron, it's done. He won't be able to speak anymore. He's gonna be on all fours, with just like just pissing and shitting everywhere. He's gonna turn into an ape. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Maybe that's he's trying to transform. He doesn't want to be a human being anymore. He's gonna try to transform. He's gonna turn into Bigfoot. There it is. There's a theory. Aaron Rodgers transforms into Bigfoot on this darkness retreat. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, it's from a 2020 article. Yeah, he ain't fucking with that anymore, I don't think. And oh boy. Early predictions. Chiefs repeat. Yeah, they got let's see the early odds here at Caesars. Let me pull them up. The Chiefs are definitely the favorites. I'm gonna say no. I don't know who I'm gonna say to win. I guess I'll go with the Bengals, be my early lean with Burrow, but I'm definitely not locking anything in yet. Let's see. You got the Chiefs plus 575, 49ers plus 650, Bills plus 700, Eagles plus 800, Bengals plus 900. Eagles seem like a decent value there, plus 800, and then no one else even close. The next closest is freaking Dallas at plus 1,600. I don't see any of them. Hey, maybe Jacksonville plus 2,800, Detroit plus 3,000. Hey, you never know. Song in the house, Cool MC. What up, bro? Yes, sir. I saw a post saying Jets and Packers came to terms with trade, waiting on Rodgers' decision if he want to play or retire. Whatever. Yeah, it's kind of like the Saints and Raiders with Derek Carr. They came in agreement on a trade, but Carr said no, I don't want that, and they ended up forcing the Raiders' hand. They're gonna have to release him. Mahomes and Kelsey, best QB tight end combo. Oh, I agree. They've surpassed Brady and Gronk at this point. I'm sorry, Pats lovers, but they All right, y'all. I think we're back. Think we are back. All right, cool. Yep, made it back, baby. Go toward the light. We saw the light. I went on a brief darkness retreat there, but we've made it back. We've seen the light. Woo! We've seen the light. Yeah, man, they on to me, man. They cut my power, bro. That's what it seemed. It was something with the internet, just like randomly went out. That made no sense. But yeah, we'll put a bow on this one here soon. We got a trade question though. I said, geez, Rodgers don't want to retire and break shadow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I doubt he'll retire. Let's put a different topic. I think we've said enough about Rodgers. Derek Carr, where does he land? And we just had Bogey pull up. Let's and I saw the third eye. I had the third eye experience.
Went into the Matrix.
Oh, I was in there. I was like in total darkness. I was like, fuck. I had to sign in on my phone, man. Hang tight, y'all. Stuck.
I know. I must have jumped right on. I was like, oh, did he end the show? Because I was in the darkness. It was me.
Yeah, no, it was the Matrix.
Then I heard a voice, though. Here's the thing. This was the damnedest thing. I heard a voice. I said, Aaron?
Oh, you already know Aaron Rodgers in the fucking Matrix. That dude, my goodness. He's probably doing an ayahuasca journey to warm up for his darkness retreat.
You know what's crazy about the ayahuasca thing too is like, you know, if you're going to one of those places, they want you to like fast and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like there, you know what I mean? So I wonder what the preparation is for this one right here. And I'm sure like, you know, people are like, oh, you can just do that at home, or like, you know, go, you know, on a serial killer rampage, and they'll put you in the box. Like you could there's probably other means of doing this, but I also feel like it's the positioning. It has like a lot to do with like geographically where he's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the environment. He wants to be in a completely new environment, and like the kind of environment, I guess he figures will give you a better chance of really activating the third eye that he's trying to see.
There's something about Alaska too, right? Like something about how it rotates. I mean, how when the Earth spins on its axis, like there's a certain like it doesn't do like full 360s, it does like 180s or some bullshit because it's at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then Alaska is like it is the day where it's like it's dark there. Some of the year it's dark for like way longer. Yeah.
Like it'd be like for like a good amount of the year, it's like all nighttime. So it'd be like at nighttime, it's dumbass dark. Then during the day, it looks like it's like the crack of dawn. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I think it's the same thing with it's both of the poles are like that. Like Antarctica's like that too, I think.
They believe we're like 200 years due on a polar shift.
Oh yeah,
a polar magnetic shift, like a total magnetic shift.
Damn, what would that entail?
You know, complete destruction of the world.
Oh my god, the apocalypse. Like,
yeah, but it's like this is gonna happen. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's not for sure gonna happen in our era. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like this next 100 years, but it's happened several times over. Like places like the Serengeti. You know what I mean? Used to be like lush rainforests and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably one of those things. You know, it's
Greenland, Iceland or Greenland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Iceland.
There you go. That's the one. Iceland used to be lush, fucking rainforests and shit.
Iceland's still pretty nice.
It was the Greenland then? Which one it was?
Greenland's the icy one. The Vikings did that to try to fuck up explorers. They named Greenland, even though it was like fucking glacier. Okay, and they called Iceland because it was lush and they wanted to trick people.
They wanted to keep, okay. Yeah, so it used to be completely the opposite though. Well, we're talking like thousands of years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probably one of. Well, I mean, thousands. It wouldn't. I mean, this
tens of thousands.
Okay, so yeah, mankind wasn't around yet.
See, that's the thing though, is that like, you know,
There's
there's
probably
too
one of those
much,
things that's like it'll
there's
it'll
too much
happen at some
evidence.
point, but
There's too
most
much
likely
evidence.
wouldn't happen in our lifetime because we're like a speck on like the whole thing. Like we're like just a tiny speck on the timeline. So I doubt it would happen when we're living. Hopefully we're not that unfortunate.
Well, here's the thing though. We might be like, you know, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth iteration of our species. You know what I mean? Like we might have even went the distance several times over and then been just wiped away by cataclysmic events. You know what I mean? Or not more next to wiped away. Like, you know what I mean? Damn, they're extincted. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, this shit is called it's called the Younger Dryas theory. You know what I mean? This is like proven fact that like we were hit by like a crazy ass meteor not too long ago. You know what I mean? Like maybe 10,000 years ago, 12,000, something like that. But like the proof is like not only in like the craters and stuff like that, but it's in like the it's called tritonite, right? It's like a glass, like, you know what I'm saying? That they, when you get hit with a crazy ass impact, like a nuclear impact or an asteroid impact, you know what I mean? All the dirt and shit like turns into a glass. So like, you know, several layers down, you know what I'm saying? Into the Earth's crust, they find a layer of this shit. You know what I mean? And then on top of that layer is like a layer of like black, you know what I mean? Soot. Cause it's like, you know, the world was on fire for hella long too.
Yeah, I think that's like with the dinosaur. That's like what wiped out the dinosaurs. So it's like a meteor.
Yeah, but see, but they also believe that dinosaurs weren't the same time as humans, but like there's several iterations or illustrations, I should say, in like caves and shit like that with like, you know, humanoids and dinosaurs. I mean, unless they just had this incredible imagination, you know what I mean? But also too, it's like things
they may have just been like they may have discovered some fossils and were just kind of like tracing out the fossils.
It's not the skeletons though, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
I personally don't believe humans and dinosaurs shared the planet, but I guess anything's possible.
Well, I just believe that like you could have easily had, you know, a 10,000-year-old version of us.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. It would have probably been like a freaking like almost like an ape. It wouldn't really have. They wouldn't have probably been able to speak a language.
No, but see, that's the thing, though. I beg to differ, though, because see, we only have written history. Like, I mean, we already found like the earliest human was like 1 million years old, right? Like the carbon dated, right? Like Lucy or whatever, earliest humanoid, right? And then like, you know, at one point, it's like okay, Neanderthal man and Cro-Magnon man, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, who's to say that there weren't other versions of us prior to that, highly intelligent, but got hit by some type of cataclysmic event and it erases, you know, all of them and all the evidence of them. You know what I mean? Then we have to relearn again as a species. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like, I mean, because you see all these mega ancient structures all around the world. Like, you know,
yeah, dude, Marty's saying meteors built the pyramids.
I mean, shit. Like, think about this. Like the technology, they believe that it could be some type of sound frequency shit, like where you would levitate shit using sound or anti-gravity or whatever. I mean, I just feel like there was some technology that, you know what I mean, that they knew about, or some, or even just some knowledge of you know what I'm saying, how to utilize a goddamn fucking electromagnetic fields and shit, some real fucking universal math shit. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe there was some type of quote unquote divine intervention. Like you're aware of the ancient alien theory, right? Where like, you know what I'm saying, a fucking an alien or just a higher, highly intelligent being come down to Earth and then intervene with whatever humans, right? And kind of give them information. Right. See, if you weren't like, I mean, if I saw a cell phone, and we're living in the, you know, 100 years ago, I wouldn't know what that is. Right.
Yeah.
So same thing. Like if you saw like a spaceship, you might be like, it's God. You know what I mean?
Jesus was an alien.
Fuck yeah, he was shit.
Oh,
He's a
you always
mushroom.
yeah, Jesus was a mushroom. Yeah, that's your theory. Yeah, I remember that.
It ain't my theory. It's It's John Marco Allegro's theory. He wrote the book called the Mushroom and it's the sacred the mushroom what is it? Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. That's what the book's called. Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. He was like one of like 12 like handpicked scholars to like to transcribe the original Dead Sea Scrolls. You know what I mean? And the Dead Sea Scrolls was basically the first fucking rough draft versions of all the New Testament stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and the New Testament is all about Jesus and all this shit like this. And it basically 11 other motherfuckers or however many other, highly sought out paleontologists and fucking professors and shit. And they're transcribing it and they say, oh yeah, this is the New Testament. Yep. And then this guy says, oh yeah, it says Jesus was a mushroom. And he said, and motherfucking, and it was the Hebrews, they're going around healing people with this mushroom that they call Jesus, and they named it Jesus because think about this, just like going back what I said with the cell phone. You show me a pile of mushrooms right now, I'll be like, oh, this is psilocybin mushrooms. You know what I mean? I'm educated on it. See, imagine back then, they don't know what this is. They know this is, they were referring to it as God's semen. It comes from the sky because, the dew, would come from the sky and then, and it would form the mushrooms on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, mushrooms. So the ones that they're referring to is called manna, right? And manna, like, even Moses talks about eating the manna in the desert, seeing the burning bush and all this shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, it's all in theory. But this one guy, he transcribed it, and that's what he got. That this was like a secret mushroom cult that was going around just healing people and introducing people to God. Like it was the begotten Son of God. And then all over the world in chapels and fucking and goddamn cathedrals, they have stained glass windows of Jesus depicted as a mushroom. It's the fucking damnedest thing.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Wow. Fucking wow.
Yeah. And then they killed the fuck out of that guy. That guy that wrote that book, they got his ass.
Damn, yeah, all the religious.
You can't fuck with the Vatican, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Vatican, yeah, the Catholic.
I mean,
Church
that's my this is just my conspiracy theory now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if I'm the Vatican, I would have put a hit on. Plus, they're Italians, bro. Well, they didn't have it in there. The first mafia was the goddamn Vatican, bro. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the Pope. Yeah, the Popes.
Yeah, they did a whole series on him on HBO or a Showtime, or whatever it was.
Crazy,
it was like Pope John, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Whichever the fuck.
John Paul, was that it? Man?
I don't know. This was like going back to like the 1600s.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that was a fairly recent one.
Yeah, this dude, he was like, they did a whole series on him, but like he was just crooked, bro. You know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah, I think the current Pope is considered like very good. I think it's Pope.
He's like Francis. The most optimistic one. He's the one that like. Because before, here's how it used to be before, right? It'd be like, okay, God created it all, right? And then you'd be like, well, what about the universe? Yeah, there's nothing over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then now it's like, the Vatican has came around to that. Now they're open to the idea, maybe he created other things.
Right. Until it took y'all 1,000 years to figure that out.
I mean, see, isn't that funny though? Because you know what I'm saying? What if there was what if back in the days, that divine intervention was like a regular common thing, right? You know what I mean? Like maybe as a species, they learned. I mean, they learned at one point us as a species can't handle having too much. You know what I mean? Like they say in Atlantis, like people you would live for hundreds of years, right? There's no diseases, that cures for everything. This is what they believe, right? In Atlantis, right? And that fucking knowledge of the universe was common knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Reincarnation was like, because it was a real thing, because it's like you could live for hundreds of years in this vessel, or you could transfer your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Or you would, another vessel will be born, and you could, you might be able to remember who you used to be through like DNA or something. You know what I mean? Who knows? Because right now, all I know is that we're at a super low level of mass consciousness.
a fucking TikTok and life hacking, fucking social media using troll nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, damn. And yeah, Sir Bongs brought up earlier about how like it's like that's like just I guess just saying about how like it seems like so many men have kind of lost their sense of purpose kind of thing because it's just like it's a lack of it's like production. It's like you feel good when you're
well, yeah, I mean, like
about being productive. Yeah.
See,
lost and unproductive because most of our instincts and responsibilities that we had for thousands of years have suddenly been stripped away. We feel domesticated and abandoned by modern society, but masculinity is about using that frustration and energy to be productive and not just giving in.
You know what's so crazy? When you read on the Vikings, like you'll read something about like the Vikings.
Oh no, that was me.
Or like you'll read like the barbarians, like you know what I mean, like Attila the Hun and shit like that. Like you know what I mean? Like you walk up into a village and just slaughter everybody. And that was just what you did. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, Clock in the building.
What up, Clock? Like, that was just like what you did, right? Like, if we, because see, and because you know why? You might got all this food, bro. We're have to kill everybody and take all their food. We're barbarians, you know what I mean? This is what we do. Right.
Yeah, and I think outside the barbarians, they were like, they never found God or Jesus. They were just it was every man for himself.
There's some theories well, this ain't even a theory. It's so because of like LIDAR, which is like laser radar shit. You know what I'm saying? They find hella vast cities in the Amazon that are just covered by the flora and fauna. You know what I mean? And like. But the theory is a lot of these motherfuckers are mass like extinct because fucking or mass like genocide because of like the conquistadors came through and brought them like smallpox and other diseases, you know what I mean? So like over after a couple of generations they all just die out. But then there's theories that like the Amazon, like you know what I'm saying, this was all like a lot of the flora and fauna was planted there by the locals, you know what I'm saying, by the village people, the indigenous people, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this is like manufactured, you know what I mean, like a rainforest, you know what I mean? This is pretty civilized, you know what I mean? They had irrigation systems, stuff like that, you know what I mean? But like still though, you're still fragile, you know what I mean? Something comes through, fucks up that ecosystem, wipes them all out, you know what I mean? And then look at this. This is not that long ago. This what, like 600-700 years ago. You know what I mean? And so now it's almost forgotten in time. Now imagine this, 1 million years. You know what I mean? So imagine, there could have been 1 million. Maybe that's those motherfuckers that's flying around in all them UFOs and shit. 1,000,000-year-old versions of us. You know what I mean? The super advanced, you know what I'm saying? Fucking that's the last surviving of whatever cataclysmic event millions of years ago. You know what I mean?
You never know. And Clock said, I heard Bogart is Attila secretly. He's on to you, man.
Hey, listen, bro. Hey, he was, the first inventor of biological warfare. Because, like, the Black Plague was going on, right? So they'll take, like, carcasses that are, like, people that died from having the Black Plague, and they'd put them on catapults. And then they'd be outside, like, whatever fucking, kingdom walls or whatever. And they'd just be shooting these carcasses into the, you know what I mean? Biological warfare, bro. You know what I mean?
Jeez, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, hey, Attila the Hun, he was a savage. Like they would they'd be like, like say there was like, like the leader of some other village or whatever. They, they put him in front of everybody and tie 2 horses up on him with ropes and then make them run the opposite ways. That was like his favorite move though. Sometimes he'd even do the 4 horses. You know what I mean? Split you 4 ways.
Fuck. No mercy, bro.
I mean, it was so when you're going back 600-700 years ago, to be a man was like, a warrior, bro. That's part of being a man. You know
that you were a killer, basically.
Yeah.
You had to be a killer.
Like, man, look at the fucking the Comanches. You ever went down the Comanche rabbit hole? These are like these are just a war tribe. You know what I'm saying? That was in the Great Plains. You know what I'm saying? They only ate meat. You know what I'm saying? Because, they're like a traveling tribe. You know what I mean? And they would just find a group or another village or tribe and just rape and kill everyone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the rape and pillage kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
hell yeah. And like,
fuck.
and they could shoot. So they rode horses. So this made them just dominate. You know what I mean? Because they could ride horses and they could shoot them arrows from the horse. Like, imagine this, bro. Like, you would have a horse and you're using the horse as a shield. Because I'm hanging on the other side of the horse and I'm underneath the horse's neck shooting arrows. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers were like super legit
True
riders,
savages.
bro.
Yeah, fuck, man.
And they would have like 4 or 5 arrows in the hand and just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, it was just people. There's no match. It actually was like the Texas Rangers or some shit, right? Like this is what the start of the Texas Rangers. So it's like a small band of Rangers, but they had the 6 shooters. You know what I mean? So now they can match firepower. You know what I mean? Because it was really about just quick. And you know, if they can get you in the eyeball from like 300 yards away, you know what I mean, or 150 yards away or whatever, because they were just that good. But you know what I mean? Now, you know what I'm saying? They had these 6 shooters, bruh. And you'd be armed with multiple, you know what I'm saying? Fight fire with fire. Finally took the Comanches down. But it's like, this is a war cult. This is a society that the war is their culture. Even if they died that's how they would prefer to die, right? In battle.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Die, yeah.
You know the story of Vlad the Impaler? He's the original. He's who they based Dracula off of. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
So Vlad the Impaler, the real story is he was a warrior for his kingdom or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was a fucking lieutenant, all this shit. He was the king or whatever the fuck. I'm not sure if he was the king, but either way, he was out there with his guys on the front line, you know what I mean? And he loved to kill, you know what I'm saying? And like when they would take over like whatever little provinces or whatever, and then he would string motherfucker. He liked to have giant shish kebabs. They would strip down trees, right? Trees and other shit, and like and skew foods onto the trees. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Yeah, or like like it was really big to like crucify foods and shit. So instead of crucifying them, it would just be the one pike. You know what I mean? And he might have like 6, 7 bodies on that motherfucker, just like a piece of art. And he would eat. He would just be like, have his table set up. He's just eating. You know what I mean? And
But he's a cannibal?
No, he'd be eating, just having his lunch. After he
I got
after
it.
a hard day
Eating all the people he kills. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, he just after a hard days of just murking hella foods, right? And then he'd be like, string them all up. You know what I mean? Put them on the fucking pikes like I like. You know what I mean? And he was just sitting around.
That's fucked.
With his men, he just grub and he would he would like put bowls underneath the bottom of the fucking poles. You know, all these people they're just fucking impaled. You know what I mean? That's why they called him Vlad the Impaler, right? But they would just all be impaled, and he would collect the blood in bowls. And then the legend would grow that he would did take his blood, the bread, and dip it in the blood and eat the bread, and you know what I mean, while he's grubbing. You know what I'm saying? After enjoying their fucking spoils.
He may have been a fucking cannibal.
Then legend, what's the word? It's a tall tale, you know what I mean? Then
for sure.
He's some mythical creature that can turn into a bat and sucks blood, and you know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
the grapevine. Yeah, you don't really know what to believe, really.
Right? Like, bro, he's immortal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But then Hollywood gets their hands on it, and then that becomes like what we know as vampires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the original story, and he was a warrior. Like he died in battle too. You know what I mean? He was like, fuck that. He went on a conquest too. I think he was just he was killing shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was, you know what I mean? That's what's fucked up too, is when the Comanches, right? Because they would encounter like, hunter-gatherer, like peaceful tribes, and just go in there and murk them, take all their food. You know what I mean? God, take their women. You know what I mean?
Get all the women.
Yeah, there's this broad, right? There's a whole book written about her, right? I'm not sure. I think it's loosely based, but it's she was a white broad, and her and her family, they're just living on like the prairie. You know what I'm saying? And then fucking here comes the Comanches, kill everybody in her family. They took her though. She was probably like 11 or 12. So she gets raised as a Comanche woman. You know what I mean? And then she ends up having a baby with one of them. And this dude man, I forget his name, bro. I'm hella hot that I don't remember his name. Because this guy, so this is like late 1800s, right? Because the Comanches don't go back to, I mean, we're not going back too far in history that this savagery was still going on, you know what I mean? But then I forget the name of the dude, but so he becomes one of the most powerful like Comanche like leaders, you know what I mean? And like he kind of meshes the Western world, you know what I mean? Because like he kind of shows that like he one of the reasons why they had like the Indian reservations, because now here comes in the late 1800s the white man just taking all the land, you know what I mean? And like he's half white and Comanche, you know what I mean? So he like feels for his people, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember this motherfucker's name, bro, but he even like met the president and shit, and I think they gave him like a house. He had like a mansion. They gave this dude a mansion, bro, but they gave him like hella land. But it's because the Comanches, they didn't have nowhere to go at this point, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're getting into the 1800s, this is like, it's civilization now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like late 1800s, or you know what I mean? Because
that was the shit, late 1800s after the Civil War.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think one of those movies, bro. I think it's a Kevin Costner movie, Dances with Wolves. You ever heard of that? This is way before your time.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
But yeah, I think it was like it was about the Comanches, I think. I forget.
Yeah, I'll have to go down the Comanche rabbit hole. That sounds like it'd be pretty.
It's really interesting, bro.
Yeah.
It's really fucking interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Because just imagine a culture of motherfucker. First of all, when the Europeans came, see, this is how quick evolution is, right? Because when the Europeans came and all shit, they brought horses, you know what I mean? And then so now horses immediately spread wild, and you know what I mean. And now these indigenous people, Indians, natives, or whatever you want to call them, you know what I mean. This particular tribe, they figured out how to tame and ride the horse, bruh. Then it was a game changer, you know what I mean? Because and they hunted buffalo. Like buffalo was like the god to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the what tribe was that? The Sioux tribe.
There's the Sioux tribe, so that's the Dances with Wolves.
Mm-hmm. I think Sir Bones mentioned that. Yeah, Dances with Wolves, taking me back.
Yeah, that was the Sioux tribe. See, I think they're a war tribe. I don't think they're predominantly a war tribe.
This internet of the Apache was a war tribe, I believe.
There you go. Yeah, them motherfuckers just going to war, bruh.
Yeah.
Man,
the Sioux had numbers. That was their thing. They weren't as much of a war tribe, but they had numbers, so it was tough for the white man to defeat them. Where the Apache was like straight up warriors. Like I'm wanting to say Crazy Horse was Apache. I could be wrong on that, but either him or Geronimo, I think, were Apache.
See, I'm trying to remember the Comanche fucking dude that he's half white Comanche, but like he became like he was like a motherfucker, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He was lightweight a celebrity, you know what I mean? But he became like a legend and shit. I'm probably slaughtering the story.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what were the different ones. Yeah, Sitting Bull, that was a legendary one too.
Yeah, there's Geronimo.
I think he was the Sioux.
Was Tonto? What was the one that what's his name? Johnny Depp did a movie on the dude. I can't remember.
Yeah, Geronimo was the Apache leader. Yeah.
Okay. Geronimo. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's my girl's grandpa. His name is Geronimo. So like when I was thinking of middle names for my little guy, that was one of the ideas. Cause I thought that'd be dope. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Like, Geronimo.
You know what I'm saying? Call him Mo for short. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. That's Mo. A little Mo.
Yeah. Geron. You gotta call him Geron.
Yeah, Geronimo Allison.
Yeah, remember him?
We thought he was gonna be a thing, and never.
I mean, he was just a field stretcher. It was funny because
he was someone Rodgers had for a few years that we thought would maybe become a thing just because he was tied to Rodgers.
Who else? There's another guy, Jeff Janis. That was the one who was just a field stretcher. Geronimo Allison, he had speed, but he was a great possession guy. Like he would be, he would get peppered out of the slot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he had a year. Go down the rabbit hole here. He had a year where he was pretty productive.
I
There was a
mean,
year I think where Green
he
Bay
was
didn't
like
have
the
any.
Allen he had like an Alan Lazard year. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, he didn't. He didn't. I thought he did. No, his career year was only 303 yards and 2 tugs. Damn, who was that then that had that? What about that Janis guy? What did he do? He probably didn't do much.
You know what it is, bro? It's like they just had like those.
Yeah, he didn't.
They had those big games when they would show up like out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where like, yeah, they would have like Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb would absorb the vast majority of the targets.
Like that playoff game against the Cardinals back in 2015 season. You know what I'm saying? Rodgers hit two Hail Marys in that game. And I want to say one was to Allison and one was to Janis. You know what I mean?
Probably so. What game was that? He said the 15, the playoff game?
Yeah, 2015 season. So the divisional.
Yeah, the divisional against Arizona.
Yeah,
the one they lost it as
in overtime. Yeah, but he had to throw 2 Hail Marys, bro. It was fucking insane. Like that he did it twice.
Yeah, let's see who caught those actually. Oh, Jeff Janis caught both. Jeff Janis had 7 catches for 145 yards.
Okay, and he had the 2 tugs.
Yep, the 2 tugs. You know who else had a big game? Jared Abbrederis. I think I said it right.
Tight end.
Jared Abbrederis. No, wide receiver, white receiver.
Well, you know what was crazy is because everybody died that year. Like,
yeah, they must have all died because he was.
I want to say,
he was down there like Richard Rodgers at tight end.
Yeah, because they didn't have. So okay, I know they
Randall
had
Cobb and James Jones must have died in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
See, Randall Cobb only 1 target, James Jones 2 targets. Yeah.
They got hurt most of the season. Those 2 guys, right? I want to say they missed a lot of the season.
And I think that was the year Jordy Nelson had the ACL.
He had the ACL in the preseason game.
Yeah.
And then Ty Montgomery tore his ACL because he was a rookie and he was a receiver. Yeah. They didn't turn him into a running back
yet. Right.
And then and they still had Eddie Lacy, huh?
Yep, so Cheeseburger Eddie, yep.
Dang, that's crazy.
James Starks is the compliment.
Hey, Starks used to have some little greasy little tugs here and there.
Yeah, he did. He had some nice games.
Really who was the other? They had a fullback there too, huh? Right?
Yeah, John Koo.
Yeah, Koo.
Yeah, he'd steal tugs every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, it should have been Lacy.
That's funny.
See,
you know what's crazy is like we're gonna see that offense again. Because it's Mike McCarthy's show now in Dallas.
Gosh. Oh God, they're gonna bring in a fullback. Jesus.
You know what else is a trip? Is they brought in Brian Schottenheimer.
Right.
They're
gonna run like shit.
They're gonna run like shit. But
Brian,
but it's also it's not like he doesn't have like a passing game. Because remember, he was the guy that it was all the let Russ cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 20,
Dak will cook. Yeah, Dak will have his moments.
2018, 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? That was all shoddy over there. Mm-hmm. And Russ, we seen Russ like he had to shred it a couple times. So I kind of like that. I'm not mad.
Dak will be okay. I still in my dynasty ranks. I still had Dak as a QB1.
Let's play that game real quick. So there's no particular order for fantasy, right? Josh Allen, Mahomes.
Like who the QB1s are?
Yeah, just the 12 of them, right?
Okay, yeah, I got my list. I'll just pull it up.
Okay, well, let's see.
Yeah, I had it like this for QBs. I had it Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Hurts, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Fields, Kyler Murray, Rub and Tug Watson, Dak Prescott, and Danny Dumbass.
See, I think I still put Prescott over Watson.
You still would? Yeah, I just think with Watson's a couple years younger.
Well, I mean, okay, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the dynasty, so yeah.
Okay.
It's factored in.
I'm talking about somebody who's like going to win right now for me.
Yeah, I'd probably
Yeah.
rather Dak. Yeah, because Watson might
Yeah.
still be a little. I think
It's the
Watson.
system.
Watson, yeah, I think honestly, I think Watson might struggle a little bit again this year. And it might be to the point where they fire Stefanski and then hire a coach that'd be more a fit for Watson.
Bill O'Brien. You know what I mean? Like,
Cliff Kingsbury, bro.
oh no.
Bring in Cliff Kingsbury, air read.
I mean, here's the thing. Bill O'Brien, they were getting in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that might help Mac Jones, Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got to be better than Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Can't be any worse.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. I love how Matt Patricia really is a genius, though, because they wanted to they on the fly created a zone run scheme. Like they tried to do something that Steve Sarkisian Shanahan-esque scheme that Jones played in college. You know what I mean? And that was phenomenal for the running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Rahamador.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that Bill O'Brien, I never really liked his running backs in fantasy, bro.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't that high on Rahamador for the dynasty ranks. I had Rahamador ranked RB 18, and people were getting on me about that.
I hope people don't push up Stevenson because normally there's such a shroud over New England running backs that even though like for instance, Damian Harris, right? 2 years in a row, he's just like producing. And then this year was like, okay, clearly it's going to be fucking Stevenson. And it was, right? So maybe we get one more year like that. You know what I mean? Because there's no one really there to threaten him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I just don't. They never really throw to the running back, like to one. Like, what? Look at Bill O'Brien's running backs in the Texans. You know what I mean? I think at one point
Lamar Miller,
like Lamar Miller, they trade for Lamar. I don't know if they trade for him, but they after the
signed
Dolphins,
him in free agency.
Yeah. He was an RB2.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, he was all right.
I don't know who else they had. Burkett,
Duke Johnson.
Starter. Oh yeah, Duke Johnson. He was blah.
They brought
Carlos Hyde, bro. Wasn't Carlos Hyde 1,000-yard rusher for them under Bob?
Was it
I'm
Carlos?
pretty sure.
It was DJ. It was David Johnson.
DJ never did much for them, though. Yeah,
Okay.
they had DJ, but no,
They had
Carlos
Carlos
Hyde, 2019, bro. Yeah, Carlos Hyde, 1,070 yards.
That's right. I forgot Carlos Hyde went to the Texans.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, he better have put up 1,000. Well, he had Watson to make everyone play honest. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Crispy, what up, bro?
What up, Chris Bay?
Yes. Yeah, what up, Pops? Crispy's everybody's dad. What up, Dad? Oh,
It's just Dad.
Yeah. And before we put a ball on this one, just want to pose this question because Derek Carr looks like he's headed to free agency. He was not accepting a trade to my Saints, so he's headed to free agency. Where does he land now? Does he end up with the Saints, or does this mean he's going to go to the highest bidder?
I mean, I think he's gonna. I think right now it's not just about money. It's about like he really want to win. I think he thinks.
Well, that's good then for the Saints because the Saints have a path to win, and the South sucks.
Yeah, so I think it was smart for him to go and talk to the Saints. Because think about this. He's probably like,
Emil's in Tennessee.
See, he's over there talking to the Saints, right? And he goes, man, fuck the Raiders. And they're because they're probably asking for something. They're like, listen, we're willing to pay this. And he's like, you know what, though? Or I could say screw them and screw, you know what I mean? Because they're dumb to give him a no trade clause to begin with. What the fuck did he warrant? What did he do to warrant that?
Exactly. Yeah. So they benched his
and
ass.
they added that in last year.
Yeah, they were petty and benched him down the stretch. They're like, all right, fine, I'll be petty and not agree to do this trade.
Right? And then he could just still end up going to the fucking Saints. Because, like, I bet you if he goes to the if they were to trade for him, right? You know what I mean? Now they kind of got like, okay, you need to agree to this restructure. You know what I mean? And maybe Loomis is like, listen, man, you let me get my hands on it, bro. I'm about to, you know what I mean? You're about to come here for the low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
now that makes Derek Carr have leverage if he hits when he hits free agency.
Yeah, he might just be like, fuck it, I'll go to the Jets. If the Jets throw 40 million at
Or
me,
be
I'll
like,
just go
hey,
there.
Saints, he can leverage everyone against the Saints. Because I think like if there's anyone that's gonna take a chance on him, bro, it would be the guy that drafted him before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dennis Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think like really when you look how it all went down, it was fucked up because he broke his fibula, end of 2016 season. I have like a fucking hair, like someone else's hair on me. It's like a fucking bothering me. Okay, anyways, he has a goddamn goddamn broken fibula, and then he comes back the next year, 2017. He's just a bitch. You know what I mean? Because now he's like scared for real. And then he gets a spine. He fractures in his spine. So it's just 2017 altogether is just a bust year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they fire Dennis Allen, and you know what I mean?
I think they fired Allen.
No, they fired Allen the year before that.
Yeah, it was somebody else they had, and then they fired.
See, that's fucked up. He got him into the playoffs and everything. Then they fired. And
there's no stability in the organization. Never gave him a good defense. You know, they always look fucking more. So
it was I can't remember who that coach was, man. That was funny though.
Yeah, they fucked him. I forgot. Yeah, that was a guy. Wasn't Cable, was it?
Was it Tom Cable?
Oh, I think Tom Cable. I think he was before Dennis. Before
Gruden, because Gruden came in 2018.
Yeah, I know that. No, there was one in between Dennis and Gruden because I'm pretty sure Cable came.
Yeah, I know there was.
Oh yeah, no, you know who it was? It was goddamn Captain Jack. Jack Del Rio. That's who it was. That's right. Captain Jack, and then they brought in Gruden.
Yeah.
Because it was Cable, then Hugh Jackson for a year. That was a disaster. Well, not really 8-8. They fired him after 1 year, 8-8. Then Allen was
the Terrell Pryor year. Terrell Pryor as the QB.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that motherfucker's name, bro? Jack Del Rio. Captain Jack. He was the defensive coordinator. So he was kind of like the in-house hire.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, they had. It was like, that's right, because the regime was Dennis Allen, Captain Jack, and goddamn Bill Musgrave.
Oh, as the OC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Greg Olson was it at one point.
That Greg Olson.
That was under Gruden.
Yeah, Greg Olson's.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Greg Olson, he's funny because he bounced around. As trash as he is, he bounces around. Like he was with he was with Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
And the Rams. So he was there with Goff early, I think, with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, though, check this out. He goes over to fucking the Jags. And then they were like the 10th best offense that year. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's kind of hit or miss, it seems like.
Yeah. He's hella vanilla.
Yeah.
Like there's no creativity and like,
that's how I feel about Pete Carmichael at the Saints offense.
Short.
It's very vanilla, everything's short. Yeah. It sucks. Shit, AJ just pulled up. What up, bro?
What's happening?
Oh man, where we at Friday, man? We need you for FNT.
I know what happened, B. No, it's all good.
For sure. Yeah, we held it down. We were a little late, but we held it down. That was a fun show.
Yeah, B. They can't stop this thing.
Yes, sir. Mark Brown, yo, what up, Mark?
What up, Mark?
Shit, yeah. But I wish we could keep rocking, man. I gotta head out though and get some food in me and take a piss because it's getting a little late on my end. But yeah, just a reminder, y'all, next week we're pushing it back to 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. West Coast. So gonna be a little later for y'all, so once y'all can take some time and relax once y'all off work and then crack open a cold one and a smoke for the power hour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else, B? Are you ready to take us home?
Yeah, let's take this thing home.
All right. Yeah, so I got caught up at work and UJK this week.
UJK.
I think what?
All right.
Yeah, we'll just go.
I was trying to think. I was trying to
There's a
think. What is it?
Playmakers reference. I was like,
I don't know. What is UJK?
Yeah. Are we doing Playmakers this week or?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we'll figure out some. I mean, but here's what it is. It's like we're gonna be real loose with that schedule for the next couple weeks, or at least for me, from on my end, because like I'm getting ready to get in this process of moving too. You know what I mean? So I'm looking. I definitely want to do. I want to do one. If you know what I'm saying, why not? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Michael says later. Yes, sir. Yeah, we out this thing, man. We did about all the damage we could do. We'll be back next Monday, 8 Central, 6 West Coast for the Guru Nation Power Hour. Peace. Yeah.